There we go. MLB DFS strategy Monday, September 24th, coming off a just delightful week 3 of the NFL season, but we're not done yet. We've got a 12-game MLB slate, tons of high-end pitching options, bunch of teams with 5-run implied totals or higher. This is an oddly fun Monday slate for the last week plus of the baseball season. So, Jake, how excited are you to play MLB DFS tonight?
Yeah, NFL didn't go too well, so I'm ready to get back to the old stomping grounds, MLB, and close this season out right. We got one more week, Josh, with me and you. It feels like we just started doing this a few weeks ago.
It really does.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to be itching for this like mid-October, another show talking about Strasburg and Eovaldi and like targeting against Bundy. So I'm going to cherish this last week. Should be fun and hopefully profitable.
Yeah. I'm oddly, this is so stupid, but I'm oddly excited for like next March when we know that this will start up again. I'll be like, all right.
Yeah,
oh, I'm crazy. We got 12 games. Let's dive into this stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
First game up on the docket, Marlins and Nats. Marlins 3-run implied total, Nats 4.7. It is a 69% chance to win for the Nats.
Nice.
Thank you. Sandy Alcantara going for the Marlins. Steven Strasburg going for the Nats. Strasburg, pretty chalky. 28% expected ownership right now. Not the chalkiest high-end pitcher, but he's in the ballpark. What are you going to do with Strasburg tonight?
I want to play the ownership game with these top pitchers, so I know that's not a kind of a cop-out, but I do think Strasburg is closer to being right than I thought a couple starts ago. Swinging strikes up over 12.6% the last 5 starts in a row. And against some formidable opponents like the Cubs and the Phillies twice, the Brewers in there as well. Miami's not super easy to miss bats against. And, you're seeing the strikeouts go up as well. So I don't know how much the Nats don't really have anything to play for. So they could, in theory, be what's the word I'm looking for? Careful with Strasburg. Well, he's thrown 100 pitches in each of his last 3 starts, so I don't think there's much to worry about. They probably want him to close out strong. And there are a bunch of righties in here. So while the Marlins don't strike out a ton, Strasburg can certainly strike out righties, and he's going to get 6 in a row, it looks like.
Yeah, 10-7, I think is a decent price. Lowest implied total of the slate for the Marlins. I mean, it looks good, but if he's 28% owned and J.A. Happ is not owned and Blake Snell is not owned, then I can see not wanting to be just only on Strasburg. I'll be more interested to see sort of where the average salary price for pitchers comes in, so that I can manage my bats accordingly, and then I'm probably just going to take whatever pitching shakes out.
Did you say Blake Snell? I think he's not on the slate.
He's listed for it from me.
Just yesterday.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Fucking FanGraphs, man. Is it?
I did the same thing. I did the exact same thing. So last night he was on the slate and he wasn't.
This is hilarious. So, who is it then?
I see Diego Castillo.
Well, no shit. Dude's the only dude that starts for the Rays anymore.
Well, they don't have any. No one starts besides.
Oh, is it Yarbrough?
I think it's supposed to be Yarbrough.
Okay, so it was Yarbrough for me last night. And I had him in, and then I guess FanGraphs probable pitchers updated to Snell for reasons that I'm not entirely sure of.
I have no idea.
Yeah, neither do I. Okay, well, never mind. Don't play Blake Snell. Obviously, that's not going to work out. Thanks, FanGraphs. Let's go to Ryan Yarbrough. Not Ran Yarbrough. Stupid Josh. I guess you don't. I guess you don't like Blake Snell then tonight. He's probably going to get a 0.
I would think so.
Righty. Tampa Bay. Ryan Yarbrough is not going to go 5 or almost 6 innings. Well, he might, but I can't predict that. So, see how this looks now. Probably not going to change all that much for me. We'll change the high end a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me get this refreshed. Okay, goodbye. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably end up with less than the field of Strasburg. He's just not a guy I want to trust at the end of the season, particularly if J.A. Happ is getting no ownership. Are we agreed that J.A. Happ is throwing today? That would be pretty important if I keep talking about it.
I don't have a starter listed for the Yankees.
Okay. We're going to go with J.A. Happ.
We can go with J.A. Happ for now. I think that's fair.
Look, Strasburg's in a great spot. Tons of righties for the Marlins. I would begrudge no one for going that direction. You're not going to any Alcantara at 6,700, correct?
No, he has come down to earth. His last his last start especially, which was against the Nationals, and that was at home. Just like he couldn't get any chases, couldn't get any swinging strikes. And I haven't even looked at the results, but I'm assuming they were not great. Yeah, 6 walks, 4 innings, 3 earned, 3 strikeouts. I mean, I think he's going to have trouble with lefties. And you see Harper and Soto and Eaton, not Eaton as much, but Harper and Soto, I'll play anytime against a righty that's even close to league average. And then like Zimmerman's pretty cheap, as is Rendon. He's cheap enough at least. So the Nets aren't a great value for a 4.7 implied total, but I do like them against Alcantara. And then I like the arms they're going to see afterwards in that bad Miami bullpen.
Okay, so Fangraphs is just jacked on their updated projection, or their pitchers. So it is Severino, as I expected last night on the night shift. But I don't know what they did overnight to jack that up. Thanks, chat.
So thank you for...
Jake, our connection is atrocious.
Did you play baseball yesterday?
I did not. I hope no one did. There was essentially no prize pools.
I know it's awful on Sundays.
Our call connection is pretty bad.
I don't know why that would be.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not going to have much of the Nats bats. I'll have some, but they're not a team that I'm stacking heavily. Looks like I'm right with the field right now. 5% aggregate on FanDuel, 4% on DK. So they're fine, but I'm not going crazy. So they should break out.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
I think they're like a top 6 or 7 stack for me.
Yeah, they grade out really well. They're just a weird fit with the way salary is set up today.
Sure.
They're kind of a hard team to pay up for. I don't know. I'm happy with the amount I'm getting, but I figured they would actually be a little bit chalkier.
Yeah, I thought so too. I just pulled up ownership, so I didn't realize we had it out this early.
It was up crazy early. It was up as I woke up.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You got up way early.
6:30 every day. Gotta. Marino fan, or Marino for life. Just to let you know, yes, you are correct. No chicken to Spags.
No chicken.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, these guys all under 10%. We're expecting. That's
yeah.
Harper and Soto. I mean, I play them every single day. Huff James. Those guys grade out so well against righties and pretty well against lefties too. So they're almost always in my player pool and always coming up as 1-offs and 2-offs.
As they should be.
Yeah,
they should be. Astros and Blue Jays. Astros 5.2 run implied total. Blue Jays 3.9. It's a 63% chance to win for the Stros. Dallas Keuchel going for Houston. Marco Estrada going for Toronto. I don't have much interest in Keuchel, just not that kind of guy. I didn't know if Estrada would get any love last night on the night shift. Just 4,100 at home. Reasonable spot where people take value pitchers, but that is not happening. Only 2% aggregate ownership for Estrada. So not really on any pitching here, and I'm going to assume you're on the same boat.
Yeah, Estrada really bad against righties. 592 xFIP. Like, that tells you basically all you need to know. Doesn't strike him out, and he's just going to get a boatload of good righties up top for the Astros. And if the roof's open, wind blowing out 15 miles an hour to left, he's a fly ball pitcher too. So I could maybe see it if they close the roof and you just need a pure punt against a team that I don't think Houston's already locked in, right?
Yeah.
So there's a possibility they pull out a bad lineup or less than.
They're 4.5 games up on the A's. So
yeah, so they're not going to probably start rolling out bad lineups yet.
Yeah, they've clinched the division already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, then maybe you see a bad lineup. Then yeah, sure, Estrada becomes in play. But if we're seeing an A or even a B lineup, there's no way I get to him. I don't think you even need to punt that low. There's two options in the 6K range that I think are much, much better plays that you're going to be able to go forward.
I would completely agree. Astros bats last night, one of my top stacks, and nothing has changed. They're number 4 on FanDuel, number 1 on DraftKings. I am double the field on FanDuel. I'm over the field on DK. I think you're with me. Are we stacking up some Astros tonight?
Yeah, just all these good hitters that are just way too cheap. Mm-hmm. Springer 4,200, Altuve 46, Bregman 45. You've got Tyler White for under 4K, or you can pick Gurriel for 4,500. Who was missing? Oh, Correa's missing in there.
Yeah, and
then Marwin batting cleanup, dual position eligibility, shortstop position 3,700. It's just such an easy stack to get to that. It just makes all the sense in the world in GPPs.
Yeah, 4% aggregate, or I don't know why I keep saying aggregate. 4% ownership to Marwin Gonzalez right now. I hope that holds because I want to have way more than that.
Yeah, I think it'll come in a little bit higher.
So do I.
But there's going to be hitters in this lineup that go overlooked, like White and Gurriel. I think will both have pretty low ownership compared to Springer, Bregman, Altuve.
Yeah, Gurriel $300 cheaper than White on FanDuel if you're trying to get different on either site. White is probably better on DK. Yeah, I love the Astros. No reason not to. 5.2 run implied total, one of the higher on the slate. So don't go crazy. Play the Astros.
Yes, sir.
Donovan Stockton, Engelman's signature slurp. I hope I did.
What was it? Engelman's signature slurp? Oh.
Yeah. So I slurp my coffee really bad. And I've been doing it for about a year now. So. Orioles and Red Sox. Orioles 3.7 run implied total. Red Sox 5.3. 67% chance to win for the Sox. Dylan Bundy going for Baltimore. Nathan Eovaldi going for Boston. Eovaldi, I would have expected to get a little bit more love. Only 13% on DK. He's in a decent price point. He's actually the 13th most expensive pitcher. So he's below the average pitcher from a price perspective today. I'm going to have more than the field of Eovaldi. What do you think?
He's a good play. I think he's a fine play, I should say. The thing I'm worried about with Eovaldi is, well, number one, he hasn't gone deep at all. And he hasn't had a long leash lately. So his last, 8 starts, pitches by start, 71, 86, 87, 89, 35. Okay, that was just a bad start. He left early, whatever. But then 86, 73, and then he was pitching well in his last start and only threw 83. So they're just not letting him go deep at all. And you're still going to need some production for 7,300. You're going to need strikeouts or him to go deep, one or the other. And I think he can get strikeouts here, but I don't really think he kills me if I fade him. I was with you. I thought he was going to have more ownership, but I was thinking more like 10 to 15% Eovaldi. But if he's, what would you say his ownership was, Josh?
13%.
Yeah, so I'm going to be right in that area with Eovaldi. I don't really want him to decide my night. I don't think he's looked that great. And then all of a sudden he comes out with a solid outing against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. So just one that doesn't really make sense to me. The swinging strikes jump around constantly. They had him as a reliever for a minute there. And I don't know. I don't feel confident in Eovaldi at all.
Yeah, it's not that I'm super confident in Eovaldi. It's that I'm not confident at all in the Orioles bats. And I'm willing to take that chance at 7,300. That's a reasonable enough price. I actually like him even more on FanDuel. He's only 6,400. So I'm going to end up with quite a bit of Eovaldi there. It's just a play against the Orioles more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, Orioles, it's been really profitable to take pitchers against them. And I didn't realize how cold the weather was here, or cool the weather is. 60 degrees, wind blowing in.
Yeah.
And these Orioles bats need all the help they can get. And now, good pitching weather. It's still a bad pitcher's park, but gets neutralized by under 60 degrees and wind blowing in, I think.
Sure. Dana Forden, something has to be wrong with Josh's Robbie Ray projection, or is he only expected to go a couple innings? You are right. It was not Robbie Ray when I did this overnight. It was someone in the bullpen, I believe. And I had switched it to 2 innings, so I just made that change. Good eye. We would have caught it once we got there. We've been like, whoa, Robbie Ray looks like he sucks. Yeah, I like Eovaldi tonight, just because the Orioles are super bad. I also like the Red Sox. They are one of my top stacks. I'm over the field on both sites. And, you know, I started to misspeak last night on the night shift. I thought that Bundy had been getting blasted lately, but he's actually been decent. Are you stacking against Bundy?
Yeah. So, like, this is who Bundy is. He can be on and look incredible against, tough teams like Oakland, and Toronto's not that tough a matchup with a bunch of righties in there, but he's still going to give up hard contact and home runs. So I'm a little disappointed to see this weather be the way it is, but still a 5.5 implied total for the Red Sox. I think they're still going to be able to hit home runs and create really, really good contact off of him. So
Yeah.
Benintendi I love here for 4,800.
This is the 5th time he's starting against them this year.
That too. And like they know exactly what's coming.
Actually,
he's not
6th time.
Well, yeah, they had that one where he was getting blasted.
Yeah.
And then
with your phony Benintendi home run.
Yeah, I had like all the Red Sox outfielders, and they all donned within the first 2 innings.
And then it was
and
gone.
And the game got postponed.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I know they should be able to hit him really well.
Yeah.
He had success in his first couple starts against them, I believe. But since then, it's been pretty poor, as you would expect against the Red Sox after you see him a couple times.
Bundy has given up at least 1 home run in every start he's had since July 1st, except for his most recent start. So I'm confident that he can give up another one here today, at least. Multiple 3 home run games. He just, like, when he gets hit, he gets blasted.
Jeez. Yeah, I was just looking at that now. I mean,
like, he's missing bats in most of these starts, but good God, it's just like it's like a guarantee that he hangs a slider or curveball and just somebody puts one into the orbit.
Yeah, and it's like there are just no easy outs in this lineup. Like Kinsler and Moreland and Sandy Leone are all really good values too. Bogarts, I think, is a good value as well. So
Bogarts at 4,400, I think, is probably one of the better plays for Boston today.
He is questionable. Did he rest yesterday or something?
No idea.
He played yesterday. I don't know if he came in only 2 at bats, so maybe he left early.
He's injured. Left shoulder. Bogart says he feels good and wants to play tomorrow. So something to keep an eye on at least. But either way, I want to have some Red Sox because when it goes wrong for Bundy, it goes wrong in big ways. Gotta have him.
Hurt his shoulder. All right, then. Yeah, I think, like stacking against Bundy, I'm usually making the case to play Bundy. And I just kind of go the opposite of the way he goes. If he's pitching well lately, people think he's turned it around, and there's more ownership because of the recency bias. I don't know if that would be the case tonight. I don't think people are going to play him, but I want to stack against him for sure.
I mean, he's like the perfect guy to stack against. He's given up 3 home runs in a game like 6 times or something stupid. You can't shake out like That is the perfect guy to stack against. 1, 2, 3. All right, 4, 5. Yeah, so 6 times he's given up 3 or more. We're not even counting that throwaway start where I'm almost positive he gave up at least 3 home runs in that game.
Give up 3.
Yeah. Yep. So, and we're not even counting all the games where he gave up 2. He's the perfect guy to stack against.
He gave up 1 home run in his first 5 starts of the season. He was just mowing everyone down.
He's given up 38 home runs this year.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Is he leading the... Who leads the league in homers this year? JD?
Chris Davis does, I think. I think he has 45.
Yeah, Chris Davis is 45. JD is 41. Joey Gallo is 39. And then Dylan Bundy's allowed would be 4th in baseball. Oh my God. That is just crazy. I didn't realize Joey Gallo had a stat line of 212, 319, 512. I mean, I know that he only hits homers, but damn. Dude really only hits homers.
Literally.
Eugenio Suarez, 18th in baseball, 32.
Stud.
Yankees and Rays. Yankees 5-run implied total. Rays 3.5. 66% chance to win for the Yanks. Not J.A. Happ going for the Yankees. That would be Luis Severino. Doesn't change my thought process. Not Blake Snell going for the Rays. That would be some sort of Diego Castillo plus X. I think it's Ryan Yarbrough. We shall see. Doesn't really matter. You're not playing this guy or any guy coming in for the Rays against the Yankees in this spot. What do you think of Severino?
I don't really want to target the Rays all that much. They've been so good against righties for quite a bit now.
I feel like they're the best team in baseball.
Well, since the last 30 days, 137 WRC plus against righties, 370 on base percentage, ISO over 200, striking out just over 20%, walking at one of the highest clips. I mean, they just have dominated righties lately. And like you've seen high caliber righties like Kluber go up and just get bombed.
Yeah.
So what's Severino's price? Because I don't have him up right now. I had no one in for the Yankees.
11,100.
So
T. McBee, yeah. I have no idea if he's confirmed. I can't make heads or tails out of half of this pitching today.
Yes, we don't even know if he's playing, but I think I'm staying away. I'd rather go with Kluber or Strasburg if the weather's okay there.
I'll say this much. If he has no ownership, and I don't know if he just has none because of this game, then I definitely want some Severino. If Kluber's 35 and Strasburg's 28 and Severino is 0, which I don't think is going to be the case, but just to point it out, you can't have him be 0.
Right. Agreed. 10 hours ago.
Considering a bullpen game.
Maybe that's the uncertainty with the line and such, because if Severino was confirmed, there would be a line.
Yeah.
Now, what do the Yankees have to play for here? They're pretty much locked into
dude, nobody has anything to play for any longer, essentially. So, Red Sox clinched the division. Yankees have already clinched the wild card spot. Everything in the AL is clinched. 100% clinched. Wild card set. Yankees, Astros, Yankees, A's wild card game should be fun. A's just never beat the Yanks in the playoffs. And then in the NL, Braves have clinched the division. The Cubs are 92% to win the Central. Dodgers 90% to win the West. The Brewers are 99% to make the playoffs in some fashion. Slight chance to win the division, but mostly going to win the wild card. And then the Rockies have an outside chance of catching the Cardinals for the second wild card. But otherwise, that's it.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, why do the Cubs have a 92% chance? But they're only playing the Pirates and the Cardinals left. They don't have the Brewers on their schedule any longer.
Yeah. Yeah, the Brewers have a 7% chance to win the division. So, I mean, the Cubs would basically just have to start losing aggressively.
Well, 2.5.
They've guaranteed a spot in the playoffs.
Got it. Yeah.
But there's a chance where the Brewers catch them for the division. Or the Cardinals, for that matter.
Should be fun.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see a Brewers-Cardinals one-game wild card. Just interdivision NL Central matchup. That's crazy. What do you think of the Yankees here? Because I'm not that interested.
Well, if you're not interested, why aren't you looking at Yarbrough then for 4,800?
It's a good point. I don't necessarily love the Yankees as a stack today. Let me be more specific. 4 outfielders at in the first 5 spots. They're just a hard team to get to. I like them more in like smaller stacks than I do totally. So I'd be happy to fill in other lines with Stanton or Judge, McCutchen, unavoidable. I don't know.
I'm kind of there with you. I am considering Yarbrough at the very least, like 4,800. We think he's going to come in. We're outside of Yankee Stadium, obviously. Who knows? Maybe you see a bad lineup or not their A lineup. And I think we both agree Yarbrough is pretty decent.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be a short stint, but he's not priced at 6,500 anymore. He's 48. And yeah, I mean, he's going to miss Stanton, Voit, Judge, McCutchen first time through at the very least. I mean, he might start with Sanchez, Walker, Torres. So
yeah. I can see it. We'll see where it goes. I have a hard time taking him if they're projected to lose by a run and a half. I don't know. There's just something weird about this game.
Okay. Would you rather play Yarbrough or Estrada?
Oh, Yarbrough for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm right there with you. I just wanted to take the temperature where you're at.
Yeah, it's all going to depend on if I think I need that salary or not. I don't really love the Yankees, but I don't necessarily love Yarbrough either.
Got it. Yeah, I just hate targeting against this Tampa bullpen when they do this.
Yeah, and I mean, especially now when their season's over, I don't necessarily trust anybody to come in.
That is a good point.
They could literally throw anybody. The game is 100% meaningless to them. If they can showcase everybody, they can fucking throw out position players. Like, who knows?
You're right. I mean, they don't have to abide by anything.
At the very least, I like knowing that a guy is starting now, maybe not in July.
That does help.
If you want anybody, just play unavoidable.
Oh, God.
That guy. Pirates and Cubs. Pirates 3.8 run implied total. Cubbies 4.7. 59% chance to win for the Cubs. Jamison Taillon going for Pittsburgh. Cole Hamels going for Chicago. Hamels getting a little bit of love. He's at 15% on DK. I have a little bit less than that. It's just kind of like a weird salary zone. 8,400 on today's slate. I don't really know who you pair him with outside of maybe Eovaldi. It's just if you're going to Hamels and anything more expensive, then you're looking for, I don't know, the Cardinals or the Giants or the Cubs, some sort of cheap stack. So I'll have a hard time getting to much more Hamels. And I assume you're not going to Hamels?
I like Hamels actually a little bit here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, the weather looks better for pitching than I anticipated last night. So if that sticks and we're seeing just a slight wind blowing out, and this total comes out and it's like 8.5 or 9 or even lower than that, then yeah, I think Hamels is a perfectly fine play. He grades out as a decent value for me, and that's why I'm there at 8,400 for him. So it's going to be, I agree with you, it's going to be kind of weird. Like if I'm paying up for a bunch of big bets, like Hamels might be my SP1 and go with like Hamels Pena or Hamels Anderson or something like that.
Sure.
If I want to pay up for Coors. But yeah, I think I will have quite a bit of exposure to him. I know he's had a successful start against Pittsburgh. I think it was his first start coming over to the Cubs. That's one I'm just completely writing off. Like I didn't watch the start, but that was a AAA ball club. He should have dominated them. His velocity's fine. He probably got a little bit unlucky with BABIP and such, but also gave up 2 homers. So that's the only concern I have. I'm not really scared of this Pirates lineup. You see a lot of righties, but Hamels strikes out righties at a 23% clip, just XFIP just over 4. Does give up some hard contact, but I think he's just a much better pitcher than 8,400 at this point.
Yeah, that Arizona start makes me want to stab someone.
Well, like everyone pivoted to him too. It's just
like I went real hard once that lineup came out.
Hard not to.
Yeah. Are you not nervous about 8 righties?
No, I mean, like Josh Harrison, Jordy Mercer, Luplow. I mean, Cervelli is a bit worrisome, but like Starlin Marte does not hit lefties that well, and then he may not even be in the lineup. Same with Cervelli.
True.
So if those two guys were to sit, I really want to move exposure in this range over to Hamels.
Okay.
Because I have one other guy within like 1,000 of Hamels that I actually want to play. So I have to have someone in this range, and he's one of those guys.
I'm gonna have a trouble getting over that number. If he's at 15%, I want to be under that. I think I don't like the spot.
All right.
I'm nervous about the righties. If he couldn't get the Diamondbacks AA squad out a couple days ago, maybe something's wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what it would be, but
I have no idea.
I just have a feeling like none of this is going to matter in 6 hours when all these lineups come out. We're just going to see some really bad looking lineups, and like the entire slate's going to shift.
Way to let everyone know our content is useless, Jake. Thanks. What do you think of the chalk Cubs bats?
Are they chalk? Wow.
Cubs ownership is second highest on the slate. And do you know why that is?
Yeah, I mean, it's possibility of a Wrigley win game.
And they are priced like they're not the Cubs.
What's that?
They're priced like they're not the Cubs. Chris Bryant,
yeah.
4,000. Daniel Murphy, 3,800 leading off.
Right. It's just too many quality bats, and that's why I wrote them up as a stack. I thought Tyon would scare people off, and maybe he will as value opens up once the lineups come out. But like Murphy should not be 3,800 against a righty. Rizzo should not be 4,300. Chris Bryant should never be 4K. Baez under 5K. And then you've got like Contreras, Zobrist, Hayward, all under 4K as well. Yeah, give me some Cubs. I know Tyon is really good against righties, but against lefties does give up quite a bit of hard contact. One of the highest line drive rates on the slate at over 25%.
We are on different pages then. I am on very much avoid the Cubs stance today. If they're going to be the second highest owned team, and that's because they make it easier to fit in those top arms, I'm good. Especially against Tyon. This is not a great spot. Their prices are reeling people in. And I get it. That's a decent value. I'm going to go to a different cheap stack. I'm not confident here. Unless something majorly changes about the lineup, I want to go the other direction for the chalk.
All right. Yeah. I mean, maybe
which is a shame because I really do like that Murphy, Bryant, Rizzo, Baez section of the lineup. But if Daniel Murphy's 20% owned on DK, I'm just going to pass.
That's to go to Hamels, then like you're getting a different lineup construction. You're not going to have to get these cheap Cubs if you fit in Hamels as your SP1, which I think is a pretty viable strategy on this slate. Like you've got the Red Sox, assuming they roll out a good lineup. You've got the Indians. You've got Coors. There's some stuff to pay up for as far as hitters. And if everyone's zigging, might as well zag this late in the season too.
Decent point there. Some of these games are looking weird to me now. I love baseball now. I don't know what it is. I don't want it to go away. I'm reinvigorated. All right, time to talk about the best pitcher on the slate. Indians and White Sox. Indians 5.4 run implied total. White Sox 3.4. 70% chance to win for the Indians. Stupid rounding. Corey Kluber going for Cleveland. Dylan Covey going for Chicago. I just want to have like 45% Covey, right?
Never Covey.
Corey Kluber, chalk on DK, chalk on FanDuel. And he should be chalk unless you've got a take that I don't know about.
No, it's good chalk. I'm back on Kluber is more Cy Young level than like replacement level or whatever. We were seeing
The Klubot is back.
What's that? Yeah, the
Klubot
Klubot is back. And he just dominated the White Sox. Now he gave up 3 runs, so that literally doesn't concern me at all. He gave up 2 solo shots, I think in the 5th inning when they were up big.
Yeah.
11 strikeouts at 20% swinging strike rate. Like just a classic stud Corey Kluber performance. Only difference here is he's on the road. And I guess the one thing that concerns me is he just saw this team. So I don't love that, but like just in a vacuum, this is such a good spot. This is great chalk. I think the chalk looks pretty good today for the most part, especially the top 2 guys that we have, Paxton and Kluber.
Yeah, I won't avoid Kluber here. 10-9. He's just in too good of a spot. White Sox have been the best spot all year for strikeouts. They have 4 guys in their projected lineup that have steamer K rates above 30.
What was it? Let me guess. Davidson, Engel, Anderson, Moncada?
You got 3 of the 4 right. Anderson was incorrect.
Is it Lurie?
Incorrect.
No, I'm missing. Polka doesn't strike out that much.
32% projected K rate via steamer.
What? Wow. My boy. He just donged off Kluber, though. He was one of those, I remember.
Yeah, I'll tell you when he didn't dong. When he got pinch hit for in extra innings a couple nights ago to really bone me. Wait, is this? Yeah, Polka with a 33.4% K rate this season.
Wow.
I didn't realize he was... Do you know his slash line?
Polka?
Yeah.
What is it?
I thought it was better than this. 239, 289, 495. I didn't know he had a sub 300 on base percentage, but I guess that makes sense considering the White Sox are 61 and 94.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah. What do you think of the Indians' bats here against Covey?
I mean, I like them a lot. Lindor, Brantley Ramirez, just running it back with them once again. And then I just hate the rest of this lineup. I don't know why. I mean, Donaldson I think is a fine hitter, but righty isn't as appealing for 4,600. And then people just kind of play the whole stack out of necessity. So I usually come in underweight as the full stack and just end up with a ton of Lindor, Ramirez, Brantley, Ramirez, Lindor, Ramirez, Brantley, or whatever the third combo is that I just messed up. So it's more like when I'm running 5-2-1s, I love playing the Indians as the 2. Just take the 2 of the 3 best guys.
Yeah.
And that's what I think I'm going to do tonight. Like Covey is bad, but Indians are on the road here, and Covey doesn't give up a ton of power.
I'll be stacking them up. I'm a little bit over the field on both sides. They're like they're a step below my major stacks. But Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, Encarnacion, Josh Donaldson, I'm in. Melky, I like. I wish that I got more Kipnis. I feel like the days that I don't have him, he always goes yard. But hard to not like this Indians team. Unless they just don't care.
That would be the problem. Are they another candidate to roll out a bad lineup?
I mean, I can't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah. Man, their record's not as good as I thought. I would have said they had 95 wins, if I were to guess.
87 and 68. I mean, yeah, they're gonna have the worst record heading into the playoffs, no matter what. Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Well, God, you know what? It is interesting that they don't have more wins after getting to play the Royals, White Sox, Tigers, and Twins the entire season. How the hell do you only? They must lose to everyone.
I'm sure they just beat up on the division. I know people were complaining that they were a bad team in like July because they would just crush the division and be like under 500 elsewhere.
That's why I want to see if I can see their record on Baseball Reference against the division. I know that shit is in here somewhere.
Against teams above 500, they are 23-31.
They're 12-4 against the White Sox, 13-6 against the Tigers, 10-5 against the Royals, and 10-9 against the Twins. They have a losing record against essentially everyone else.
Frauds.
That's real bad. Real bad.
I mean, those are 4 of the worst, 7 or 8 teams in the MLB that they play.
That's really not great. Anyway, moving on. Brewers and Cardinals, big game for playoff implications. Brewers 3.8 run implied total. Cardinals 4.3. It's a 56% chance to win for the Cards. Chase Anderson going for Milwaukee. Jack Flaherty going for St. Louis. I thought that I would end up with more Flaherty as a natural pivot off of the more expensive guys, but 10% expected ownership for Flaherty, and I came in a little bit under that. No ownership going to Chase Anderson. Are you targeting any pitching in this game?
Yeah, Flaherty. I think he's going to be a stud if he isn't already. So I just love him. I love how many bats he misses. Doesn't give up a ton of power to either side. I mean, like you're seeing these swinging strike rates. He had a 25% rate against the Dodgers and like 18.8 against the Braves last time out. I know he gave up a bunch of runs. It was kind of a shorter outing, but 15.5 against the Dodgers again, 12.5 against the Nationals. Like he's just constantly around the teens and getting to the upper teens with regularity. And like the Brewers are a very good team, but top 10 in K percentage against righties since August 1st. Just a 3-point implied total as well. Like Vegas is on Flaherty's side here. I think that the Cardinals give him some run support as well against Chase Anderson. This is a pretty terrible matchup for him, I believe. And I'm gonna be way over the field on Flaherty. He's the other guy. Like if I don't get to him, it's gonna be Hamels, but I'm gonna be trying to get to Flaherty in this range as much as possible.
I'm curious why you say that it's a bad matchup for Chase Anderson.
Righty power. I mean, I don't think Anderson's good, and the Cardinals, like they have a bunch of righty power.
I didn't realize how bad he was against righties this season. 491 xFIP, worse than he was against lefties.
Yeah.
Got tattooed. Good to know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I like the Cardinals bats. I'm over the field on FanDuel. I'm over the field on DK. So I am with you there. I want to target some of these Cardinals bats. And based on what you just said, I think we're going to be looking at the same guys.
I think so.
Ozuna?
Ozuna, absolutely.
Jed Jerko?
Absolutely.
Jose Martinez?
Oh, yeah, I love Jose Martinez. I love, like, first and outfield eligibility under 4K. That's, like, he's going to be one of my highest exposed players.
I'll have Matt Carpenter, clearly. Molina is a no-brainer just because it's a catcher. Yeah, I want to have a bunch of Cardinals. I think they're under-owned right now at 5% aggregate.
So this is a really good pivot to the Cubs, kind of similar price ranges. So this is where I'm going to go if I don't get to Cubs bats. And if the ownership stays like this all day, then like I would put the Cardinals ahead of the Cubs in tournaments. So yeah, man,
I think that's a great idea.
Excited for this. Can you guys check Jack's velo from his last few? Seems different, not as dominant. The regression was probably inevitable. I mean, let's see.
Hoping I beat you to it.
Looks fine to me. I don't see anything like. Looks like the exact same pitcher. So it dropped. So it went from 94 on September 3rd, dropped about a mile an hour on September 8th. Then 2 starts ago against the Dodgers, the fastball is up to almost 95. Then back down to just under 94 his last start. So that's normal. It's going to fluctuate, a mile an hour here and there. It looks fine on your fastball and other pitches as well. But I mostly look at the fastball. I want to see how that velocity is. Like if you pitch in Oakland, it's probably going to be a little bit slower than pitching in Coors.
Alrighty. I have no interest in Brewers bats. They have no ownership from the public. So, is there anybody you want to target outside of Yelich at 5,700?
No, I think Flaherty is a stud, and Yelich is really expensive against a really good pitcher. So,
Same page.
no, I'm good.
Time to talk cores. Phillies 5-run implied total. Rockies 5.9. Is that still right?
Yeah, 5.8, 6.1. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, just okay, perfect. 58% chance to win for the Rockies. Zach Eflin going for Philadelphia. Tyler Anderson going for Colorado. Are you gonna go to Tyler Anderson at all?
Yeah.
7% ownership on DK right now.
Just under-owned and too cheap. So that's a pretty good combo. He's had blow-up starts before in Coors, but he's also, I don't think the environment really affects his stuff all that much. And the Phillies strike out over 23% against righties. I mean, he just should never be 6K inside of Coors, outside of Coors. I don't know what the issue is with DK's pricing algorithm. Like, he had a good start in San Francisco when he was about 3K too cheap. I expect him to have another good start here. And if he's going to be, so I said on the spotlight pitchers, like, he's probably going to, there's enough options in this range where he's going to be under 15%. And if he's half that, then I'm going to be 4, 5, 6 times that on Anderson. I think he's an awesome play tonight in GPPs.
Yeah, I don't hate the idea. Rockies are the chalk stack on DK. That should be very little surprise. 5.9 run implied total. Zach Eflin. Coors. Are you avoiding the Rockies bats?
No. I think Eflin's stuff, I was looking at it last night. I should pull it back up. But I know he throws a slider, sinker. Sinker might have some issues, but like, his fastball is fine as well. So he could, in theory, survive here. I don't have interest in playing Eflin, but I don't think the Rockies are some lock just because it's Eflin going into Coors. David Dahl, I think, is a perfectly fine play for 5K. And then Blackman for just $200 more. He should be one of the higher owned players of the slate. So Story is playing. Is that right?
Apparently. Well, Story's in my lineup.
Yeah, he's in mine too. So,
gee, I wonder why he's in both of our lineups.
It's almost like we get him from the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 days ago, MLB.com had a story that said Story doing baseball work, but no date for return. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely helps that if they're in, but these guys are all 5K. All the good guys I want to play: Blackman, Dahl, Arenado, Story.
Yeah, Blackman getting ownership, Dahl getting ownership. I like the idea of going the other direction there. Argo, 3% expected ownership. I'd much rather have that than Dahl at 14. Just as an ownership play. Arenado below 10. LeMahieu below 10. Those are the guys that I'm looking for more. I'm underweight on the chalky Blackman Dahl and overweight on everyone else.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with the Rockies. It's going to depend on the Red Sox and Indians lineups for sure. Just to see where, are they rolling out bad lineups? If they are, then the Rockies are going to be so chalky. Yeah. Because the Rockies are going to roll out a real lineup because they're still fighting, right? So this one's going to depend on lineups. I think the Rockies are a fine stack. 6 implied total, obviously highest on the night. Nothing to really avoid here as far as Eflin goes. Yeah, they're just not all that interesting to talk about just yet.
You know who I think's interesting to talk about?
Who?
Phillies bats. Phillies, number 3 stack for me on FanDuel, number 4 on DK. They're the stack that I'm trying to go to significantly over the field if no one's going to be on them in Coors. Joey Bats, 4% expected ownership on FanDuel, 0 on DK. I have 20. I'm Team Joey Bats today.
God, I just can't get myself to pay $4,900 for Cesar Hernandez against a really good pitcher, even if it is in Coors. Like Ramos, I think is a great play.
Skip Cesar Hernandez. 2% ownership. You don't need him.
I think Cesar Hernandez, or I think Rhys Hoskins is a fine play, as is Carlos Santana. But like Kingery's 3K in Coors, so that just looks like a misprice. But he's not someone I want to play as chalk, and we could see that
5% on Kingery.
Is he one of the highest owned players on their team?
No. I'll read them off. Hernandez is 2, Hoskins 13, Joey Bats 0, Wilson Ramos 14, Carlos Santana 8, Althair 0, Kingery 5.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't really like. I don't like Joey Bats. I don't like Cesar. I don't like Roman Quinn, especially if he's batting 9th. And then Kingery, I just don't think is that great of a hitter. So it's going to be tough for me to get to a full stack against Anderson, especially when I have so much Anderson exposure.
Yeah, I'm loving the idea. I hope Anderson's now. I'm going to have some Anderson for sure, but I hope Anderson's ownership goes up and this Phillies exposure stays where it's at. I like the idea of being on the opposite side here in Coors. So I'm going to have a lot of Hoskins, Joey Bats, Ramos, Carlos Santana stacks, which should really light the world on fire.
Yeah.
That's Coors for you. 5-run implied total. Got to at least take a peek. Evan in the chat. Might be McMahon's turn at first lefty-righty, which makes Rocky stacks much more affordable. Yeah, potentially.
T McB is on the Joey Bats train with you.
Well, I mean, that's the great minds think alike, you know?
Yeah. Cash Entertainment. I got to wait for lineups to release. I think, yeah. So you should have a plan in place, especially if you had limited time, but you need to adjust as lineups come out. This last week, you're going to see some really, really ugly ones. You're going to see players that you don't probably recognize, that I certainly don't recognize. And I've been playing DFS like every day. There's just going to be some weird names all around. So be ready to adjust at 3 Eastern, 4, 6 Eastern when all these lineups start coming out.
Chris, who is Joey Bats? Really?
I didn't know that one for a long time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. When I started following baseball again a few years ago, I was like, Joey Bats. I was like, I know the name, I know, but then I put it together on my own once. So
clearly not a fan of the NL East since he's been on every team this year. Dodgers and Diamondbacks. Dodgers 3.9 run implied total. D-backs 3.2. 59% chance to win for the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw going for LA. Robbie Ray going for Arizona. Kershaw, chalky, 17% expected ownership. One of the higher guys at the top. It seems to be all or nothing in the 9K or higher range. And then Robbie Ray, 9,800 on DK, projected for 1% ownership. So how are you going to handle the pitching in this game? What do you think of Kershaw? What do you think of Robbie Ray?
Yeah. Man, I like Kershaw a little bit. I know the Diamondbacks have been striking out a ton against lefties as of late, and I know I just took a lefty against them and got bombed. And it wasn't Hamels. So I'm blanking on who it was, but it doesn't really matter. It was one start. Kershaw looks better to me. Not back at being Cy Young winning Kershaw just yet. So him, Kluber, and Strasburg, I'm kind of all in the same boat. I think they've all looked a ton better. Their prices have gone down for whatever reason. So I don't have an issue with Kershaw at the price, or this matchup against the Diamondbacks. So if you had to choose right now, where would your exposure be for Kershaw, Strasburg, and Kluber? Like if you could, without talking about your actual crunch, like if you could just say, I want 30% of this guy, 20% of this guy.
I would want the most of Kluber by far. And then I'm expecting to be underweight on Strasburg. Kershaw, I don't love it. It's not a good spot.
I think it's a fine spot.
I mean, it's not like, it's just an average
Okay.
spot for Kershaw. It's not advantageous or anything, at least not for me. I'd rather have Robbie Ray on FanDuel for sure. He's $2,500 cheaper than Kershaw. That's a no-brainer for me. I don't know. Kershaw's fine. Like, I'll take whatever I get for him. If I end up overweight, I'm okay with it. If I end up underweight, I'm okay with it. I just don't really. He's not a guy that I'm super worried about.
I think I'm going to try to have like 15 to 20% of all these guys, and I know that's going to be underweight on Strasburg and Kluber. But like, I would rather be overweight on Strasburg if I had to choose one to just go overweight on.
Really? I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to be right around the field on Kershaw, assuming he stays in this 15 to 20% range.
Would you rather be overweight on Strasburg than Kluber?
Yeah. Well, Kluber's 7% higher owned. So yeah, I think I'd rather. Like, I think Strasburg is just as good of a play, if not better.
Okay.
And he's a couple $100 cheaper.
Yeah, I think I'd be more likely to have like 2-1 Kluber to Strasburg when all is said and done. But look, I get it.
Like, I don't think you need to fade any of these guys and be like, oh, I'm Xing them out of my player pool. I'm not doing that.
Oh, no. Agreed.
But I will have over the field on Flaherty. I'm going to be over the field on Hamels as well. So I'm not going to be able to get up to this range as much as I would like to.
Sure. Any bats here?
The Dodgers are
cheap. You like the Dodgers?
Yeah, the Dodgers are cheap. Like, they're cheap and they're all right-handed, and Ray struggles with walks from righties, and a ton of hard contact, 46% for the season.
Dodgers
40%
super
fly ball
patient
rate.
too.
What's that?
Dodgers are super patient too.
Yeah, that too. I mean, they just have so many good hitters, and then Austin Barnes. So you've got Machado for 40, nice value. Turner, same thing, nice value. Taylor's leading off, dual position eligibility, and he's 4,200. Kemp is underpriced. Kike is in a price range where I'm comfortable playing him. It's just, I'm not fading the Dodgers. I'm going to end up with 5 to 10% of Dodgers full stacks, because this is the recipe for a blow-up start for Robbie Ray. I know he has very few of them, but this is like the perfect combination of hitters for him to struggle against.
Chris in the chat, I agree on Strass. I believe with you. Kluber has no reason to go over 5 innings pitched. Well, if Kluber has no reason to go over 5 innings, Strasburg certainly doesn't have a reason to do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
At least Kluber's staying warm. Strasburg's making beach plans. He's going to be in Belize in 2 weeks.
Probably.
Dodgers are a little bit more appealing for me on FanDuel than they are on DK. Dave Freese hitting third, 2,300. Kike, 2,500. They have a lot of bargain prices, so I'll have a bit of them on FanDuel, a little bit less so on DK, but they're not a full avoid. I like the idea of having like bigger Dodger stacks because of Ray's struggles with righties.
Yeah. Ray will certainly give up some power.
Yeah.
So that's,
and if they're being patient, working some counts, getting him deeper into it, they got some base runners. There are a couple of guys that can change this game with one swing of the bat. Turner, Freese, Machado, Kike, Kemp, Dozier. Like, all these guys have some pop.
Yeah. And I'm not on Ray at all, just because he's too expensive. And I prefer Hamels and Flaherty above him.
I'll end up having some on FanDuel because of his price point relative to everyone else. Like Severino, Kluber, Strasburg, Kershaw, all over 10K. Tyon at 9,600, Paxton at 9,200, Robbie Ray only 8,900. I think that's a decent spot for him if you want to have him anywhere.
Got it.
Rangers and Angels. Rangers 3.9 run implied total. Angels 5.0. It's a 61% chance to win for the Angels. Adrian Sampson going for Texas. Felix Pena going for the Angels. This guy, man, Felix Pena is a guy that I don't ever get right. And today feels like a day where I'm going to be wrong just based on where my ownership came out. We are projecting Felix Pena to 22% ownership on DraftKings. Very chalky. He is the pay down option right now, and I got 5%. So Jake, I know you love Felix Pena, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential lefties in the lineup for Texas. I think you're going to be off of Pena tonight. Am I right?
It's tough. Yeah, this one's going to be really, really lineup dependent. So if we see 4 lefties, okay, I'm probably closer to 22% on Pena. If we see 6 and the Rangers roll out their normal lineup, it's not just the power he gives up to lefties. It's just that facing left-handed hitters, he can't really strike them out at a very good rate either. So under 17%, huge strikeout splits for Pena. And it makes sense because he has that slider. Devastating to righties, really, average to lefties. Like, he's not going to get a ton of swings and misses. And you see it like 40% hard contact, a bunch of line drives, one of the highest rates on the slate. So if they roll out Odor, Gallo, Calhoun, Mazzara, Chu, Profar, then I'm going to come in underweight on Pena. And that's looking like what it's going to be, which sucks because I felt like I was on Pena early and I'm kind of jumping off right now.
If he's 22% owned, I don't really care what lineup comes out for the Rangers. I think that's a terrible play.
I think you play Anderson over him. So I'm going to be underweight.
He has one. He K'd 12 Diamondbacks on August 21st. Next highest strikeout game is 8. And then he has one at 7. What can he really even kill you?
Yeah.
Like his downside is way lower than his upside in this start at 22%. I would much rather have 0 than be anywhere near 22.
You can have Rangers. They're super cheap.
If Felix Pena could, if Felix Pena is 22%, then I will certainly have some Rangers. But I think that my idea of fading this game will simply just be not having Pena.
That's fair. I really, really like Mazzara for 3,800 and Chu for 4,200. So those are going to be 2 guys I have as Moss or dynamic duos, as EMAC would say.
Let me pull up. I want to look at Pena's last however many starts in DK points. I think that's sort of the. No.
I'll pull it up for you. How many starts back you want?
I don't know. I got it here now. I'm already here.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, I'm sort of lying, but now I'm here. Felix Pena's last, I don't know, a lot starts. Negative 1.2. What's his price? 6,100. So the price point is good here. He had 3 solid starts, 19, 22, 16, and 13, 23, 23, and then he had a really rough stretch. But even if he puts up 23, you're not dead in the water. It's a great start, for sure.
I mean,
it's a dream start, but I don't think he breaks you. That's too much ownership. Yeah. I'm going the other direction.
You're probably right.
I'll tell you what bats I do like in this game, though. That would be the Angels. 6% aggregate ownership on FanDuel, 6% aggregate ownership on DK. E. McBee in the chat, Angels bats, number 2 stack in the morning crunch. Quit stealing my thunder, man. Number 2 stack on FanDuel, number 3 on DK. I am double the field or just under double the field on these guys. Why would the Angels not be owned more than they are?
I think they will be, especially if it's Calhoun and Jose Miguel for 1-2.
Yeah.
That's just too cheap to ignore. It just so easily you can fit in Trout and Ohtani. So be owned. As long as the Angels don't do something weird. I like those first 4 a ton. So I'm right there with you. The problem is 4 outfielders and their first 5 hitters.
Yes.
So you have to leave off one of Upton, Ohtani, Trout, Calhoun.
I'm going to have quite a bit of Angels.
Arcia too.
Yeah.
3,800, but kind of deserves it.
5-run implied total. I can see that line climbing as the day goes on. Rangers are bad, so I'm going to have some Angels tonight.
Samson, what is with the Rangers bringing these guys in that just suck?
I have no idea.
They cannot get chases. They cannot get swinging strikes. They cannot, like Samson can't even get ahead of guys. Like under 40% first pitch strike rate his last 2 starts.
He's too busy tweeting out how bad everyone did in the Millie Maker to be worrying about his pitching.
Oh, come on.
No?
I was like,
No. This is too inside baseball there. Play the Angels. That's all I got. A's and Mariners. A's 3.7 run implied total. Mariners 4.2. 55% chance to win for the Mariners. Daniel Mengden going for the A's. James Paxton going for Seattle. Paxton 26% expected ownership on DraftKings. I'm actually over the field on Paxton on both sites. What do you want to do with Paxton? Because this is a kind of scary spot up against a lot of A's righties.
Yeah, I'm not there. Definitely not at over 20% ownership for Paxton. I think he's fine as a pitcher. This is a fair price, but the way the slate sets up, I would rather go to Flaherty. I'd rather save $1,000 and go to Cole Hamels. So it's just going to be there's like an embarrassment of riches for pitching today, and Paxton I don't think is going to make my cut. The A's are a tough matchup. They're just like, especially against a lefty. You got
struck out 10 in 5 innings against them 3 weeks ago.
Yep. Yeah, I know, but they're still a really tough matchup. So
struck out 16 against them in May. Forgot about that start. Holy shit.
So they've gone from 16 to 10. So now he's going to strike out 4. Nah, fade.
Man, Paxton's been really good his last 2 starts. 18 Ks in 11 innings. I mean, he's just been really good just in general.
Paxton going to be on a pitch count day now?
He was sick a couple days ago, but I think he's fine. 9,400. Man, he could really just crush this team.
Josh, does it concern you that he hasn't pitched a full over 2 weeks, 17 days? Does that concern you at all?
No.
Concerns me a little bit.
No, not at all.
He's already got injury issues. There's always something with Paxton. Always.
Seems like when he's out there, though, he's out there, or it ends immediately.
Right. He's got look at the game logs. 2/3 of an inning, a third of an inning in these last 7 starts. He's left before the first inning twice.
Yeah. Look, maybe it should be slightly more of a concern than it is, but it's not that big of a concern. Not right now.
I'm not saying that. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's all. I don't have anything else. I don't want any bats in this game, so.
Agreed. Well, especially on the Oakland side. Nelson Cruz never should be 4,300. Never.
Wait, you don't want any bats on the Oakland side?
Not really. I mean, I respect Paxton. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that he's going to strike everyone up or he's going to get blown up here. I think Chapman's fine for 3,900.
So you would rather just fade Paxton than stack against him?
It's a bad park. Really low implied total.
Sure. So I'm on the same page. I just didn't know if you were going to. There are a lot of righties, so I didn't know if you thought of any hedge 5-mans for the A's, anchored by your boy Chris Davis.
I mean, that's a decent idea, I think. I mean, I'm not against that. So if I need some extra exposure, then maybe I end up there. But I'll let everyone know on the live stream if I'm going there. So right now I don't see the need for it, but we'll see where we're at in a few hours.
All right. Anything else in that game, or do you want to close this out?
Cruz Cano, too cheap.
That I would agree with. Final game of the night, Padres and Giants. Padres 3.5 run implied total. Giants 3.9. God, I must have an error in this right now. 55% chance to win for the Giants. Brian Mitchell going for San Diego. Derek Holland going for San Francisco. Am I on more drugs than normal? I have a lot of both of these pitchers. Derek Holland, 8% expected ownership. I've got 17. Brian Mitchell, 3% expected ownership. I've got 16. What do you want to do with these guys?
Holland, I would be a ton more interested in if we didn't have Cole Hamels and Tyler Anderson super cheap. But this is a good spot for him. Like you see all these right-handed power hitters for the Padres.
Yeah.
Going from Petco to AT&T is a huge park downgrade. Like it's pitcher's park to pitcher's park, but AT&T is like easily the worst pitcher's park or the worst hitter's park. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
And like Holland strikes out 26% of righties, xFIP under 4, does give up a lot of hard contact, but gets away with it at home. And his chase rate is way up since like the early July after they brought him back out of the bullpen. So I think he's just a really solid play here, and he's just going to go completely overlooked. I don't think he's like a slam dunk, great tournament play, but for a guy that's MMEing, yeah, give me some Derek Holland for sure. Mitchell is just bad, so I can't get there. Like, I think I would rather go with Yarbrough, but man, that's 4-run total for the Giants. I understand it. I do.
This is the spot to take him at 4,200, right?
I guess.
In AT&T, Giants team that's not exactly heavy in good hitters. He's my paydown guy.
I suppose you're sweating out 5 innings for this guy.
Yes. He's my key to Rockies and Phillies and Angels and Astros and Red Sox and all that high-end shit.
It's the price, park, and matchup that you want to play him in.
Yeah, he's just shitty.
God, if he had anything where I could point to and say this guy's a decent pitcher, I would.
No, his game log looks terrible.
Yeah, so it's going to be super, super limited exposure for me. He's going to be capped very low for me, and I'm sure he's going to hit his cap because my model likes hitters.
All right, who do we want to take a look at stack wise?
Let's try like a Dodgers stack or a Cubs stack.
Okay. Grab the Cubs.
After you share.
Son of a bitch. There we go. Here's some Cubs. Kershaw, Paxton, Kluber, Eovaldi, Paxton, Eovaldi, Kluber, Pena. Very different pitching structures at the top, but very similar lineup construction. Cubs, Astros. I'll take it if you can talk yourself into Jake Marisnick. Cubs, Cards. I like that. Cubs, Phillies. I clearly like a lot. Joey Bats, just anchoring it all.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoy this lineup.
It's got your Joey Bats, Kingery, Hoskins, Ramos.
Yeah. Who would you want to see with the Cubs? Any specific team you were looking for?
I mean, I like that Red Sox one. Anderson, Red Sox, Cubs.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, hard not to. Moreland, Bogarts, Martinez, JD, Hayward, Bryant, Murphy, Contreras, Tyler Anderson, Klubot. Yeah. Sheezy.
Does DK just make Mondays like their soft pricing days? It seems like that's what
they must. I've got a lot of unique Cubs, man. Cubs and Astros, Cardinals, Phillies, Rangers, Red Sox, Rockies, Giants, Pirates, Rangers. I did say Rangers. That's a lot of options if the Cubs go off. Who else? The team I'm way over the field on. Phillies, Angels. Who's not chalk? I want to see what the
Josh, you want to load up some a FanDuel crunch quick?
Fine,
people really want it.
Fine, I know people are clamoring.
Give the people what they want. They've been nice all year to us for the most part.
Very true. I really like these Philly stacks, man. If they're gonna be not owned, I'm in. Team Joey Bats. All right, you crazy people. Here's some FanDuel crunches. They're thrilling. Anybody actually ask for anything specific from FanDuel or just FanDuel crunches?
Just click on like Kluber. Let's see.
Yeah.
Or Strasburg.
All right, so with Kluber, who is, my opinion, the best pitching option on FanDuel, although you can make a case for Paxton, but Kluber's got the matchup. Angels, is this sorted by, yeah. Angels Giants stack is my highest projected Kluber line. But Angels, Astros, Phillies, Angels. Angels are very popular for me on FanDuel. Where do I get the Indians? Okay, so 3-man Indians, Encarnacion, Donaldson, Melky. Angels again with Kike. I don't really like these lines. It's getting me a lot of teams that I am not super interested in. I don't really love the idea of a ton of Kluber with the Giants. They're just super, super cheap. And at least it's the pieces of the Giants that are decent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4 on San Francisco. So I don't mind that all that much.
Wait, go to that Kluber, Bogarts, Bradley, Kinsler, Dodgers. Yeah. So Strasburg would fit in all these too. So just use your imagination.
Yeah.
$800.
All right, this is the only request I'm taking. Big Hova, you're the only one that asked about FanDuel. Can you do Eovaldi? I certainly can.
They're all at the top. You love Eovaldi on FanDuel.
Yeah. I mean, I have a ton of Eovaldi on FanDuel. These lineups are going to be loaded. So there's a 3-man Red Sox stack with Eovaldi, the Rockies, and then clearly noted slugger Joey Bats in my optimal Eovaldi line right now. Lots of Red Sox Rockies combinations here, and I like that quite a bit. Full on core stack with Phillies and Rockies. If we want to get to non-Philly and Rocky teams, we could even do Altuve, Bregman, Marwin, Josh Reddick, JD, Kinsler, Moreland, and Trevor Story if he plays. I mean, Eovaldi just opens up those high-end stacks because you're saving so much money. $6,400, you can basically pay for whatever you want. You don't have to go bargain hunting. Nats, Zimmerman, Rendon, Turner, Harper, Kinsler, JD, Jackie Bradley, and Cargo. I'm in. Eovaldi, dude. Eovaldi is an excellent, excellent play on FanDuel.
I'm not playing over there, but I'll trust you.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys, that is it. We are done. Process show coming up probably around 11:15. Myself and Adam will probably talk a little bit of NFL and then a little bit more MLB. FanDuel Fantasy Cruncher add-on pricing is live. So if you're interested in getting that, head over to awesemo.com now. You could add Fantasy Cruncher to your membership from A to B at 2:30. Andrew and Ben talking probably a little bit of Tiger Woods winning the Tour Championship, a little bit of NFL talk. And then we'll have the deeper dive, Adam and Laffy breaking down this slate similar to Jake and I, starting around 5 o'clock. And then Jake and Chris going live from 6 till 7. Loaded day. Spotlight hitters, pitchers, stacks. And you're getting it all. Getting it all. Emacs got a Monday Night Football article, I'm sure. Covering it all, man. Growing like a weed. Jake, anything else?
No. See you guys back here at 6 Eastern with Chris.
There you go, guys. Best of luck tonight. Adios.